Who do you see as the biggest riser that's not a top 10 prospect that will get people talking by season's end?
I'm going to go with a guy that was in the futures game yesterday, Boston Baro, who I had number 13 in my most recent top 30. He's lauded for his plate discipline, his bat the ball skills, his knowledge of the strike zone. And I was told that at the same age, he was reminiscent as a hitter like Brandon Nimmo. I was told that before the game. And then the game comes on, and the dude has like the exact same batting stance as Brandon Nimmo. So I guess that was an apt comparison of sorts. But what impressed me about him, the Mets want to see him tap into some more power. And you saw him, much like Clifford,
Oh, yeah.
against lefty, take a 93-mile-an-hour fastball the other way for a home run. Next at bat, a lefty again, pulls a 94-mile-an-hour fastball through the hole for a single. And then in his following at bat, the way the wind was blowing, he hit a ball that I thought was a surefire ball going out of the park again to right field, but the wind pulled it back in and ended up being about a warning track shot. So Barrow's a guy that I would keep a close eye on. I have him at number 13. And if he takes the strides that the Mets are expecting of him, I think he's someone that's going to fly up my list. And you could be talking a top 5 prospect in the system this time next year.
Yeah, it's easy to get excited about someone like that. When you look at a high school draft pick, he's gained a lot of weight. These are typically, Joe, the players that I don't want to necessarily say like a meteoric rise, but it feels like you blink and 2 years go by and you go, wow, I couldn't project that, because you don't know how guys, when they're drafted out of high school, are going to grow, what areas that might have been lacking they're going to develop. Seeing Barrow hit that home run, it was kind of a wow moment for everybody. I could feel it with you guys in the booth. You guys were excited to see him play,
Yeah.
but when he did that for you guys, Joe, it felt like, just watching the game, you guys were like, oh, that is exactly what the Mets are hoping for this year.
I had to be very careful. I was excited. I was about to hit my pen on the desk, but I didn't want the mic to pick that up. So I was pretty pumped to see it, because you could tell he hit it well, but it was tough to tell if it was going to make it out. And then obviously it did. And it was very exciting to see someone like Barrow, who the Mets really, really want to see get into not necessarily home run power like he showed yesterday, but get some doubles, spray liners in the gap. If he could get there, and then as you continue to grow and mature as a hitter, those line drives that you're spraying gap to gap, all of a sudden just happen to travel over the fence.
Joe, I'll take someone that was in your top 30, but not in the top 10 as the question asked. And kind of excited to watch Jonathan Santucci this year. And obviously he's not going to be, projected to make the major leagues this year, but second round pick, someone that you've just talked about, really the stuff that he has, and it's been all about health for him. And when you just look at the overall talent that he has that just needs tailoring, I'm just a believer now when the Mets draft somebody with that kind of stuff profile, whether it's the velocity on the fastball or the ability with the breaking ball. And hey, can we get this guy's command from being below average to mediocre to average? Let's see what we have here. I really want to see what Santucci could do in this system with a full year under his belt.
I think you can. This is an incredibly smart kid. Obviously went to Duke, so you're not cheating academics over at Duke. So very smart kid. The fastball, like I said, was up to 97 yesterday. He has a plus slider. He's got a changeup that he's working on. And we've talked about this on this show, right? How at the pitching lab and all the work that can be done, you could develop a pitch in just a mere few bullpen sessions that you could use in game. And that's what Santucci did. He has a curveball now added to his arsenal. And he told the media before the game that he learned it in like 3 or 4 bullpen sessions. And now all of a sudden he was able to use it during the game last night. So he has the potential for a 4-pitch mix, physical body. And when you look at his delivery, it's easy, it's repeatable. It's a starting pitcher's delivery. As you said, the command and control will definitely need to be cleaned up, but this is a guy that missed some time in college too. He had a fracture in his elbow his sophomore year, had a rib injury that knocked him out for a month and a half his junior year. So it's pitching is almost new to him, essentially, as you remember, Connor, when we talked about him after he got drafted. He was a two-way player up until his last year at Duke. So this is newly focused on pitching. exciting prospect that the Mets probably would have taken if they had a later first-round pick and Benj was off the board. I think Santucci would have been in play at a spot more along those lines, and they're able to get him in the second round.